What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades. And so today is kind of one of those days that you get in a transition period where you think you're starting to head up and then we go down. And that's exactly where the hope stage is at. We go up and then back down, and then it kind of creates a little bit of panic in the market. But I'm going to tell you why we actually dumped. There is not an actual reason why this happened, but there is a reason why we dumped. There was over 16,000 Bitcoin that were sold 3 days ago, which started this bigger market sell-off, which happened, and it absolutely stopped our momentum. Now, imagine having power like that. If you had over 16,000 Bitcoin, which is you're talking millions, if not hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Let's see how much 16,000 Bitcoin is. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. And then we're going to see why that actually affected the price of ICP. So let's say 16,000 Bitcoin. And they were roughly around 30K to 29K a piece. So let's just go. We'll do 29K, 29.5. So 29, that's $472 million. And that all happened on Binance in one spot trade, 16,000 Bitcoin. I'm going to actually take you over here and show you. And it caused a market-wide sell-off, which, you know, it affects everything from Bitcoin going down. But we are in a transition period from the bear market to the bull market. So even though stuff like this is bound to happen, it isn't the end of everything. This is just a blip in the cog, right? So if we look up here, Bitcoin price fell from over 30,000 to a new local high of 29,000 in the early morning hours, and this was 3 days ago. The initial 3.5% price drop happened within just 20 minutes. While the sell-off does not seem to have a fundamental reason, two factors are currently coming into focus for the sudden price drop. These are a massive sale of 16,000 Bitcoin worth around $467 million. And I said 472. I was pretty close on Binance, and the subsequent cascade of liquidations. Now, what happens when they sell all this Bitcoin and it absolutely drives the price down? All of the longs get liquidated, right? And a lot of people were bullish lately. If we go over here and look at the fear and greed index, we're at 53 now. And we were at 50 yesterday, but 3 days ago before this happened, we were sitting up anywhere from, 57 to 68, closer to the 68. So we were starting to get greedy. And somebody decided that they wanted to prolong the bear market for whatever reason. They probably had a massive short position when they did that. That was the only reason they probably would do that. Now, analyst at 52 Skew presumably shared the initial trigger for a sudden drop in Bitcoin price via Twitter. The trader revealed that 16,000 Bitcoin were sold off from Binance Spot at the market price, while pretty typical amounts were sold off on other spot exchanges. Interesting sell-off here, the analyst remarked in reference to possible activity by whales. Whales can control the market at any time with their massive money. It's just like the stock market. If somebody wants to move the market and they have a lot of money, they can. And that led to our 29,000, our 28,000, and eventually our 27,000, because once you get into that snowball effect, it really starts to affect the market in a negative way, even though, we are not heading for a new low. That's what I'm going to tell you. This is just another correction on our way to our bull market. We're not quite there. We are on our way to it, though. So, so indicators investors should look out for, according to this dude, are negative funding across the board, open interest, well, indicates a large interest in shorts, and an elevated spot buying volume. Now, at 52 Skew, shout out to this guy. Also, shout out to the writer of this, Jake Simmons. Thank you, Jake. But that's in a nutshell why we are down and continue to go down. When a massive amount of Bitcoin gets sold, it changes the supply and demand aspect of the crypto. So it makes the price go down because now there's more supply and a massive amount was sold at one time. It creates a cascading effect. So that's, and then with our, being neutral now, we were just greedy, right? So this kind of moves us into an interesting place right now. And they're trying to, this looks like a bear trap to me. It looks like, we did get rejected. Now, historically, ICP, I do want to look at this for a second before I get to my next point. We'll go look at the chat here in a minute. Motivational sub, what's up, dude? I hope everybody's having a good Friday today. I just got my favorite ice cream today, so I'm kind of happy. I just started eating a little bit of it before this live stream. It's so good. It's called Lights Caramel Action, and it's new. It's Ben & Jerry's. It's bomb. Yeah, And actually, Uber Eats just refunded me the money from the little debacle that I had. So shout out to Uber Eats for being a good business and giving me my money back after I reported them to the Better Business Bureau. But yeah, so yeah, I might actually use Uber Eats again because I don't use someone who rips me off. Okay, so we got rejected hard from this inverse head and shoulders, right? And this sucks. This was a year-long, gritty, dirty, just a grimy, awesome pattern. And the dirty, grimy pattern has basically been defeated. You could say we're still there. And as you see, look at that. We got rejected at the neckline, baby. Right up to that neckline. Argden. This was a nitty-gritty, dirty pattern for us for a nice move up to that $12 range with the cascading 16,000 Bitcoin. Absolutely rejected us. Now, why is that, you think? When we start to do really good on Internet Computer, every single time Bitcoin chops us down. But I was telling you, I'm like, dude, Bitcoin is so oversold right now. It's ridiculous. Overbought. Gosh dang it. I almost said overbought right now. It's ridiculous. Like every single 1 hour, 30-minute, 4 hour, daily, weekly, everything was overbought. Gosh, I will get it right one of these things. Overbought. That means there's too much selling of Bitcoin and there is selling pressure. You can't buy no more because there's no buying pressure. Supply and demand. That's why when they sold off that cascading Bitcoin, it is bad, but it's also a reset. Reset, right? We reset the market now. Now all of those big overbought areas in the RSI have now recovered. They're at the bottom again. Let's take a look at that real quick with Bitcoin, and then we'll go look at that with ICP, and we'll see, hey, this might have sucked in the short term, but it's going to lead us into this bull market. So yeah, why is it dumping? A big sell-off. But this is not the end of our story. This is just the beginning. So that's the cool part about crypto. As long as you're not making big leverage trades, you still have all your crypto. You don't lose the crypto when it goes down. It just goes down a little bit in price. We wait. You get the same amount of crypto. It just matters when you sell it and how much you get for it, what you paid for it. It's pretty simple if you buy in the bear market, sell in the bull market. That's my best strategy, and it works every time. And it's going to work again. Watch. I am so sure of it. Like I said, I bet my life savings on it because this is the one thing in my lifetime I know I have control over. And I am going to absolutely make a lot of money, and it's gonna finance the rest of my life. I'm not gonna go back and work a 9 to 5 all the time. Yeah, I do DoorDash sometimes. It's just to make a little extra money until the bull market gets here. I'm serious. I am just getting all of my bills paid, everything off to the side, put any extra money I have into Internet Computer or tokens or whatever, and just go, hey, Justin, what's up, dude? It's my EID celebration today. What is that? What's an EID? Remember to smash the like button. It helps the channel. Guys, it helps the channel, but it also lifts my spirits, guys. When ICP just dumped from $7 to $5, I need some motivation too. You guys, I love to motivate you. But when I see those likes, guys, it just makes my day because I know you don't have to give them. They're free, but you don't have to give them. Like nobody makes you. So when I see them, I know you do it out of your heart. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Actually used to look a lot like Elvis when I was younger. My dad is an Elvis impersonator, if you didn't know that. He always has been, as far as I've known. Always been an Elvis impersonator. So with Bitcoin, as you see, we were super overbought up here. Look at that. This is on the weekly. And we were up to 70 on the weekly, 69.58. We were super oversold. You see this, right? Okay. Just making sure. But yeah, we were overbought, guys. That means there was so much selling pressure. Whenever we get up here, it starts to do that, right? So we needed to cool off. This absolutely needed to happen. We are still testing this simple moving average right now. We just hit that. So there's a massive amount of support right here at about $27,000. If that breaks down, we are going to head to about 25,000. We could see definitely a 25K. 25,364 is where the EMA 50 is on the weekly. We already broke below the EMA 100 at 27,621. So we did lose that support level. We are still nicely above this EMA 50. Well, let's get a couple of the other indicators out here, but you can see, and then we'll go to the different time frames and I'll show you that, yeah, we were just super overbought everywhere with Bitcoin. Yeah. So we're still above the EMA 21 on the weekly at 24,37. This isn't a massive breakdown. This is a retracement on our way up. And this could actually be a good thing to reset. And then we can actually go higher, head to about 32.5, maybe even 34,000 if we get lucky. Okay. So we're above that one. Let's look at the 200. Because if I remember, we were above basically everything. Yeah, we're above the 200 at 25,134. We still have a massive amount of support underneath of us with the simple moving average support right here that we're testing. Things are not looking too bad. We broke out of this falling wedge. The bottom of that is about 23.5. If we do break down, I don't see us going much lower than this. There's a massive amount of support between 25,000 and 23,500. And I don't think we're going to break that without another massive sell-off. We have already hit our bottom over here historically, and I believe in this market as well at 15,000. We are starting our uptrend into the new bull market, which is going to take a while. We'll go up and then retrace and go back down. Let's take a look at the daily, see where we reset to. This is good. Look how overbought we were for a very long time. This is on larger time frames. Normally you see this on like the 15 to 30 minute, but we were just super overbought, guys. We had to have the market, like Elon Musk said, was overinflated right now for how much volume compared to the price. We're just super way oversold. But the good thing is we are still in a massive ascending triangle right here. You just want to kind of pull that out a little bit like that. And we are still in an overall ascending triangle. Even this one as well, going all the way back there. And it went right back into it, but we're holding support right here. So this is a big level of support we have. We did just break below the EMA 21 at 28.6, which, you know, sent us cascading further down. And we are still above the EMA 200. There's going to be a lot of support between 23 and 25,000. And there's even some support right here at about 26, 27K. So we're looking pretty decent. This was a nice little downtrend, but we needed to reset here bad. So this is looking good. We're really far below the simple moving average. We're at 41. It's all the way up at 60. So we might actually see even some sideways action before a pump and break out. We aren't really going to go too much lower. We could end up bouncing off it a little bit lower. Like I said, about 20, 25, lowest 23.5, but I don't, that doesn't need to happen. We have a lot of support that could hold us up there. And then that's going to affect internet computer. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, the 4 hour, look how over freaking sold we are. There is buying pressure galore on the 4 hour for Bitcoin. Look at that. Look at that. So, yeah, as soon as we kind of broke below this, we had a downtrend. We did briefly break back above it, but that was just a test of it. And then went down, bow. So there it is. We're at 18, and the simple moving average is even under the 30 at 26. So there's buying pressure for Bitcoin right now. I would actually put in a long right here at the bottom of support because, dude, there's no way we go lower than that. I mean, we're done. We're done pumping to the downside. Look at this on the 1 hour. We're sitting at 19.85. Let's look at the 30-minute. We are actually still under at 27, and we just made it above the simple moving average. Oh, no, we didn't. I thought it said 26. It's at 28. So we're testing that moving average right now. If we can get above that, we're testing it as resistance right now. If we can get above that, we're good to go. If not, it gets rejected, but we don't go down a whole lot further from here. There's not a whole lot further down to go. And on the 15-minute, there is a little bit more room to the downside if we need to. But we're overbought, oversold. I mean, there's oversold. Just way too much selling, way too much buying pressure for us not to go up. We are still below that simple moving average at 31. Now, once this gets to about 33, that's when I'd put my long, once it had enough volume to continue moving to the upside. But I'm thinking about putting in a long right now on Bitcoin right here. I really am. I'm really thinking about long in Bitcoin. It would be safer if I waited to get back up about 27.5. But I'd like to ride it from 27.1 all the way up to 27.5. So we'll see. That is a risky trade. But let's get into ICP now. I want to first look at the volume because that's something we look at Bitcoin too. Let's go to the Bitcoin volume first. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere right around 20 billion. 20 billion in volume is my guess. That's just my educated guess. 20 billion, 20.2 billion. See that? I'm pretty good at guessing these things. I promise you I didn't look at it. This is the first time I've seen this today, but I'm pretty good at understanding how much volume it takes for Bitcoin to move and what happens when it does move. And, I'm trying to give you guys that information too. So let me get this over here to all messages. It likes to filter out some messages. There we go. It's our festival after Ramadan. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, guys. Happy Ramadan to you. And God bless you. So, yeah, this massive downtrend right here is kind of crazy, right, with Bitcoin. But let's go look at the volume. So 20 billion on Bitcoin. We have a nice chunky 51 million. But as soon as this volume gets down from 100 million, that's all it takes for ICP to pump. When people start putting over 100 million in here, we start slamming up towards, $10. As soon as the market is actually in a bull run, ICP is going to go parabolic like you have never seen before. This is going to be one of the best bull runs. It's going to be the best one of my entire life. But this is going to be one of the best bull runs in the history of crypto. And ICP, look at this. We're getting ready to break this area. We keep testing it. And the more you test an area, the more likely it is to break. Okay. But with us getting a massive rejection because of Bitcoin, we do have to kind of start over. Let's take this a little bit further out to the weekly just to get an understanding of what is going on here. Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry, I was in the wrong one. So if we're on the weekly here, we got rejected from this inverse head and shoulders, but that's not the end of our bullish patterns, right? So we are testing our support right here on the weekly, 45.87 to 44.27. But this is basically null and void now. This inverse head and shoulders. We could still break out of it if we do it right now, but with the downtrend in the market, we could go up a little further. We do have another chance maybe next week, but if we get further down this way, more weeks go by, the less likely. So this one, I would put that on hold until we see another move towards $7, about $7.30. But the cool thing is this falling wedge pattern is still here. No matter what, we could follow this thing all the way over, right? So this is over a year-long falling wedge pattern that has the same breakout point of this inverse head and shoulders. So although we did get rejected, we're still good on the weekly RSI above the simple moving average, which means we have enough volume to go back up from where we are right now. That is a good thing to hear. There is going to be a test of this level. It all depends on what Bitcoin is going to do. If we actually do hold this 27,000 like it looks like we're going to, we're starting to get super oversold. There's buying pressure in the market. We're already starting to go up $100 from when I said that. And that's why I would put in a nice long position right there. We just kind of broke out of the simple moving average on the 15-minute. That moves on to the 30-minute, which we are testing it right now, and we just broke above it at 29. So yeah, that would have been a really good place to put in a long for Bitcoin. You know, that's only for experienced traders, though. We are so oversold, it's ridiculous. On even the smaller time frames, like the 1 hour, the 2 hour is below. I mean, the 30-minute, the 15-minute is just getting above. The 3-minute is super below. The 3 hour is super below. The 4 hour is really below. The daily, no way, the daily can't be below. No, okay, but it's super far down there. And then the weekly, again, we got rejected from the top. This is our highest one here. It does look like it might want to resettle even a little bit more, but it doesn't really need to. I say that we hold support right here. We're at 58. We just broke down from 59. Even if we go sideways for a little while, we're good. Then that would bring ICP from 540, test this $6 resistance again, and then we go from there. We have a nice big resistance right here at $6, all the way up to even 610. That is going to be an area we would really look to break out of. That is the area that we broke out of from this previous breakout, and that's why we went up to that $7. This little breakout right here, as you see, we broke out right here, kind of touched support, and then with a nice breakout, and we closed above it. But we're going down to test it right now as support. So I think we're pretty good. We have a lot of support right here at the 540 range. Even going down to, I would say about 530 even. This is where I would say we have a nice amount of support, which was resistance back here, or support, support, resistance, support. So we should be good to go right here. There should be a solid level with Bitcoin doing everything it's doing, with everything that's happening. We're looking pretty good. So as you see, even on the 4 hour on ICP, we're super oversold. There's buying pressure on the 4 hour. Look how far down we are. We're at 33. The simple moving average is at 41, but the lower that it gets and the more we go sideways or up, the more like we are to break out of that, and it's looking pretty decent. If we go down to the 1 hour, again, we just were way oversold. We were testing that area. We're testing it again. It looks like we possibly can break out of this 1 hour. If we go to the 30-minute, I'm just trying to fly through this so I can let you know. We're testing this support right here. This looks like a nice support level we're at right now. Anything can happen, but I would actually be putting in a long for ICP right around $5.47, $5.45, maybe even a little bit lower if I could. But this is a pretty good area. I would want to get into a position. Guys, now let's just talk. Hey, Scott, man, my guy is here. We still need to get on and do a live stream. I hope you got your Definity grant. I know one of my friends got it. I'm not going to say who it is because that's not my business, but they are giving out Definity Community Award grants right now. So I'm hoping mine goes through. I went from a 15K down to a lower one because, my channel's not that big. It does suck. I was hoping for a bigger grant. I'm not greedy, but like I understand though. They got their criteria they have to meet. I'm fine with it. It just kind of sucks. I was hoping, but really, like I said, I'm trying to make it from here to the next bull run. And if I'm accumulating more ICP from doing grants, I'm not going to be greedy, man. They already took care of me once. Like honestly, if we're talking about it, Definity hooked me up. Okay, I was only supposed to get. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here. Originally, I got a $5,000 grant because that's about the size of my channel. I was gung-ho. They really liked my spirit, how much I loved ICP. But then the next time I was asking for a bigger grant, I was like, okay, I already did a 5K. Maybe I could do a bigger one. And they were talking about only giving me a $10,000 grant, even though they only had a 5, a 25, and a 50. And so I went to get that one. They gave me 5K up front. And then something happened in their internal grant where I got kind of lost in the shuffle for a little while. And to make that up to me, they moved me from the, I guess, $10,000 original grant and then gave me a $25,000 one because I had made a ton of videos. I did what I was supposed to do, and they wanted to help me out. I really think that that's what it was. My channel wasn't big enough to get a $25,000 grant. They did it because I they're good people for one. At Definity, they actually care about their creators and the people that work with them. I could tell by my situation that they cared about me and what happened. Like they made me wait a little extra longer. It kind of affected me in my life, and they made it up to me in a big, big way. So me only getting a 5K grant now, I'm okay with that because they took care of me when it mattered. And that to me, they have my undying loyalty for that. Like seriously, forever. I will never talk bad about Definity, even if I think, oh, I deserve a 25K grant. Well, I really don't. My channel's not that big. So even a 5K grant is nice of them to do. So I just want to let you know that they hooked me up. They took care of me. Like things went wrong and they made it up to me in a big, massive way because they ended up giving me 15K and then 10K after that. So that 5K was just an extra, like, so they really did hook me up. I want to let you know that. So, yeah. I went crazy. Well, I went crazy. Maybe. Not yet, but still trying. Okay. Yeah, so they hooked me up. It did kind of upset me a little bit at the time because they did like say, "Oh, we'll do it here," but all of that, it doesn't matter. They hooked me up. They made it right. They saw that something bad happened with the grant and they made it right. And so that's why I'm still going for a grant. My channel, probably a 5K grant. I'm okay with that. It's a lot of work, but I'm okay with that. I don't mind working hard, especially when it's something I enjoy. Like this isn't that work to me, like researching this, finding why things are happening, letting you know about new ICP projects, letting you know about price movements, letting you know about like developers and projects that are out there, dApps, holding tokens, how to make money getting these ICP tokens, because actually 80% of the time I'm winning in my ICP tokens. So if you want to, do good, just kind of join a community, learn what everybody else is doing, and we got your back. That's the cool thing about the internet computer, community is they are just cool people. And I think it starts with, the project. If the project were jerks and like just didn't care about people, then your community would probably be jerks and didn't care about people. But it starts with Definity, right? It starts with Dominic Williams, and then it goes down to the team and how they treat people and so on and so forth, and how far down. Even if you have like a little butting of heads, they're really good at just kind of picking themselves up and going forward. And that's what we need to learn, from them. And that's kind of how resilient the ICP community is. And we're real resilient. We've faced a lot of FUD. We've faced a lot of naysayers, a lot of, greedy people like SBF, FTX, and we made it. We've made it. And next year, we're really going to have made it for real. So, especially Scott, man, this guy is loading up on ICP every time I look. He's just buying more ICP. Smart guy. He understands what you do is buy in the bear market and sell in the bull market. It's not rocket science. Elon Musk understands it, and he's a rocket scientist. So why can't we understand it, right? ICP will be a top 5 coin. Retweet, because it's not only going to be a top 5 coin, but it is going to be one of the most widely used crypto in the world, all worldwide, because it's so fast. No other crypto does what ICP does in all of its stuff. It would take about 10 other cryptos all combined to do what ICP does itself. You'd need like Solana, you'd need AMP, you'd need like Filecoin. I mean, you just need all sorts, and then it'd probably cost more. Then you'd probably also need Amazon Cloud, a centralized server to do everything that ICP does in its own ecosystem. It would take like 10 freaking crypto blockchains and Amazon to do it all. So he's a business, not a rocket scientist. Well, he is a rocket scientist, man. Look it up. He has SpaceX, man. Like he is actually a rocket scientist. I saw a video where he said that. So I mean, he could be lying to me, but I did see a video where he said he's a rocket scientist. So, okay, he does do a lot of the designing for the rockets too. I'm sure he has a lot of smart people, but yeah, he's a pretty smart dude. I mean, he could always be lying. I would never say I'm a doctor if I wasn't a doctor. Like that would be like me saying I am a financial advisor without any schooling. Like why would you lie about that? He could be lying though. I don't know. I kind of trust you a little more than I trust him. So on the real. Okay. So we know, let's overview this video. Basically 16,000 Bitcoin were sold. That's why we had a big market sell-off. Also, Bitcoin was super overbought. There was selling pressure to the downside, which with that $16,000 sale just cascaded the market downwards. We are sitting around neutral right now in the fear and greed index at about 50 something, 53, which means there's not a lot of, faith in the market right now, but there's not a lot of, bearishness in the market. I think people understand that we've most likely hit our bottom and we're moving to the transition from, despair, what else? Depression into the hope cycle, right? And we already hit the disbelief. This might be even disbelief before the hope. So that's where we're sitting. So he's famous for making things up. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Guys, I want to connect with you guys in any way. So if there's anything you'd like to see me do on the channel, when I get this grant, I'm not going to be able to do as big of giveaways as I had planned, like giving away a Bitcoin flower, stuff like that. But we're still going to do some fun little giveaways. I noticed when I did giveaways on my channel, I'd get a lot of, people coming through. I'm trying to build a legit community and not just by incentives. But the more I incentivize people, the more the algorithm will push it to people who actually want to see it. And so that's kind of my thought process, is getting it out to the most people as possible, letting the algorithm work for me, and really start doing. I'm not going to use Google ads. I think I can get all the views for the 5K grant without Google ads. So I might use Twitter ads because it doesn't really mess up your Twitter that bad. Google ads will destroy your YouTube channel if you don't do it right and you're not careful. And they want like 20 cents a view right now, which is so dumb. But yeah, it does have a nice little market cap of over 2 billion right now, which I'm happy with. And compared to where Bitcoin was before and ICP was, we'd actually be sitting at about 470. So we're actually $1 above where we were last time Bitcoin was at this price. So that's very good. Now, if we're looking at ICP, we are starting to get overbought there as well. We, on the larger time frame, like the week, we are holding support on the simple moving average. It looks like we might have a nice little bottom here. We are holding support for now. If it does break, we could see Bitcoin go down to about 25. I don't see it going any lower than 23,500. There's a massive amount of support down there, and we are already oversold like a mamma jamma. So I really think we're going to hold this support. There's no reason we should go below it unless the black swan event happens or somebody sells another 16,000 Bitcoin. All right, guys, that being said, goodbye and good Bitcoin. Bang!